Okay, so I guess we can start with our lesson. So, okay, first of all, I hope that you had a chance to look at our lessons with Anu on the platform. And I also hope that if you did have a chance to look at it, that you enjoyed it, that you found something useful for you and something that you can actually maybe use later, not in your sports manager career, but also a little bit also in professional career. So for those of you who hasn't seen the lesson, my name is Daria. I think you can already read that. Just a little introduction of myself. I'm Ukrainian. I live in Austria for quite some time now. I have 2 degrees. I have one Master of Science in Management and Master of Arts in Business Consultancy with Marketing and Communication specialty. I'm with CSIT since 2019. I joined as an intern and let's say worked my way up to a communication manager for the project CSIT is involved in, as well as the CSIT World Sports Games. Other than that, I worked for some local companies in marketing and communication departments, some local like Secret Vienna Tours or Grand Hotel Wien, then some international companies like Raiffeisen or L'Oreal. So I worked there in branding and communication department. So this is a little bit of my background. And this is why I'm really excited to share my, let's say, experience that I got by working in CSIT as well as in the different companies, and also something that I had to learn while studying. And before all, it was how to organize myself and which tools I can use to basically make my life easier. But first of all, why digital tools? Of course, we are in the 21st century, we're in 2023 right now. Thank God there are a lot of digital tools that we can use, so we don't have to, I don't know, save like a stack of paper on our desks. I know there are still people who enjoy writing things down, but I don't. I'm one of those people who likes typing everything and have everything saved somewhere, and so that I don't forget. Of course, digital tools are important because we can have a big overview of all the tasks that we have at one place, and also we can, like, I don't know, text with our teams and exchange emails if we have to communicate anything. And also I wrote this little line in the bottom: digital tools are important because there are no better and faster way yet to do that. Maybe it's going to be at some point, but right now there are not. Yeah, so just to give you again an overview over some basic tools, I'm not going to go into detail because I'm pretty sure you know all of it, and I won't want to invent a wheel for you again. So we know textual programs we can use. We can use Excel for our numeric inputs, or also budgets or like timelines. We can use PowerPoint for our visual inputs. In fact, as a side note, I even use PowerPoint to retouch pictures or make some designs if there are no other tools available. So just as a side note that you can also use it for that, you can just change the resolution of your slide and just make designs with it. Then, of course, Outlook and Google Mail, or Gmail as we all call it, is for email exchange. Yeah, so we can basically quickly exchange emails with each other, also CC our colleagues so everyone stays on the same page. And last but not least, my personal favorite tool is OneDrive or Google Drive. We use it a lot, especially in our events and our communication, so that everyone has the same set of documents, that everyone has everything, and everyone can also easily get those papers as well as easily edit them if that is needed. Yeah, now meeting tools and planning tools. Yeah, there are MS Teams, there are Google Meets, there are Zoom where we are right now. I feel like those 3 tools just revolutionized the business world lately, because we can, you know, literally take meetings from our couches. We don't have to go to the office. We can just sit back, enjoy, relax, and yeah, just yeah, basically talk with each other. I see there is a question. Yes, Nicola.
Yes, sorry, Prof, but I have two friends from Italy who can't get into the class.
Okay, let me see. Mhm. Yep, good. I just admitted them. Anu, could you please look at the participants and see if anyone is waiting in the waiting room?
Yes, okay, sorry. I also had the
Now I can, so it's good.
wrong view.
Thanks.
So I try to get
Now
them
it's
in.
all good. Now it's all good.
The name is Gabriele and Cesare.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Hey, you're here. Nice. Thank you for the note.
Thanks.
So when I'm presenting, I'm really emotional and I don't see anything anymore. Yeah.
Is
So
Cesare here as well? I don't know if he got in. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
great. So everyone is here. Yes. Good. So meeting tools. I just for those who just joined us, I literally went over a little bit of the tools that I presented in the lesson, and now I'm talking about meeting versus planning tools. And I just said how much they revolutionized our business world, that you can take your team meetings or make meetings from the couch. You don't have to, I don't know, go to the office, commute 3 hours to just take one meeting. So you can sit at home and enjoy your coffee while still working. This is why I absolutely love those tools, and I'm really happy that they are out there. But to make sure that you actually can take all of those meetings on time, you have to have some sort of calendar or some planning tool. Feel free to choose any one of those. You can use Google Calendar. If you are an iOS user, you can use Apple Calendar, the embedded one, or Windows Calendar, whatever one works for you. But please make sure that you stick to one calendar, because it can be such a disaster if you have multiple calendars and as well as multiple meetings and you just get lost. Even me personally, I learned it so many times by my own mistakes. So this is why I'm literally telling this to you, please, even if you have different devices, let's say you're working for different companies and you have 2 different devices with 2 different calendars, make sure you store everything in one, because it's really easy to get lost, and then you can create 2 meetings at the same time with 2 really important people who have no time other than that time, and then you have to cancel it with one of them, and it gets really not professional basically. So please stick to one calendar. Pro tip. Now coming to my favorite part of the lesson are project management tools. You already know Trello, at least the ones of you who made the task for me, and the same or similar one in Asana, with the main features of like project management. You can visualize all your tasks on the dashboard. You can assign those tasks to your team members or teams. You can also track their progress. You can set deadlines to the whole tasks, to the part of the task. You can use automation rules to make your life easier with those tools, because it can get quite busy while tasks are coming quite often. So automation rules can actually save you can save you quite a lot of time. And also you can integrate Trello with other tools like MS Office or MS Teams, above all, also Slack, Google Drive, Gmail, etc. And corporate communication tools, there is Slack and there is Microsoft Teams. It's sort of like, I don't know, WhatsApp. I call it WhatsApp for business, because you can really text with people really fast. You can make meetings with them. You can have different channels for different teams, like let's say marketing, operations, event volunteers, you name it. You can also share and store files in here in Slack and in Microsoft Teams. Then you can do video conferencing, and also you can have a calendar feature to plan your calls, but it's only on Teams and Slack. It is not available. The difference between those 2 tools is that Slack can also be used for free. For Microsoft Teams, you need a Microsoft subscription. Yeah, so of course for Slack, if you want to use more advanced features, you need to pay for it, but the most basic things you can already use for free. So this is why maybe Slack could be more beneficial for smaller teams or for events, or again, companies that have not so much budget to invest. This is why Slack could be a little bit more beneficial. And now a deep dive into our beautiful Trello tool. So basically you can do lists, as you already know, to have overview of your pending and completed tasks. Also for our task, we had one more list that was called blocked, something that you could not proceed with anymore. Then you have color labels to label your teams, to assign specific tasks for specific teams. Of course, it is not necessary that these are only teams are under the tasks. For instance, in some projects that I'm working for, what I do, I use Trello for myself, for my personal, let's say, use, for my personal project management. So what I do, I assign the color labels to specific projects I'm working for, so I'm not getting lost. Basically, if I have one task for project, I don't know, XYZ, I'm assigning pink to that. And this is how I can differentiate, and I can see how much I have left to do for every project that I'm involved in. Also, you can assign the tasks to the team members personally. Of course, we did not get to use it too much because, well, there was only Iwaka who was a part of your team, guys, whoever did the board. So normally it's more advanced. Normally you have at least, I don't know, 10, 20 people in your team. So you can actually assign a task to a specific person who is not Iwaka learning. So it's really, really useful because that person will then get a notification about it. And then you can as well indicate the due dates for specific tasks. So that person, whoever is assigned to the task, or multiple people who are assigned to the task, they can get notified about something that is pending or something that is overdue. You can also create checklists to break any task down. This we already know. Then you can comment and attach files to the task. This we also haven't used much, but it's also really beneficial, especially if the task is blocked. If it's moved to something that is blocked, we can just comment what exactly should be done or what exactly is not working. So that person, whoever is responsible for unblocking this task, can just help us out much more efficient. And last but not least, my favorite automation tools that make your life much easier while using Trello. You can do a lot of things with it. You can assign people automatically while assigning a label to a specific task, and so on and so forth. I hope you had the chance to look through some of the automation tools, as well as implemented some of them for your own boards. Unfortunately, I could not see them. So guys, again, as a side note, whoever did the task for today, please let me know which automation rules you used for your boards. You can just write me a message in the platform, or you can just add them to your boards so that I know which automation rules you used, so I can just see if that works.
Sorry, so where should we add it? So for example, like,
let me know. You can either write me on the platform, like just a private message. Hi, Daria. I added the automation rule if, I don't know, if a color label is added to the task or to the list, this should happen. So like basically just write what the rule is so I can see it. Yep.
thanks.
Thank you. And now, since we are on this topic, I want to thank you, Domenico, Gabriela, Cesare, Ulrika, Nicola, and Sammy for good work that you sent me your boards. It was a really good job. And I'm excited for more boards from you guys. Whoever hasn't done it yet, please do so. And now I'm happy to share some feedback from what I have seen already. So first of all, guys, make sure that you assign the teams to the tasks properly, because I have seen that someone of you had a task called like needed budgets for the event, and marketing team was assigned to it, even though it's, you know, it's not really like marketing side of the event. So I know, of course, it comes with experience. You will know who is responsible for what, but still make sure that you assign tasks to the proper teams, because otherwise they will not be done, basically, because people will be like, it's not my responsibility, I'm not going to do that, you know. So just make sure. Then actually Gabriela saw that you can add deadlines to the checklist points, which is really good. I haven't mentioned it I think in the video, but you did it, so good job for that. Yes, you can also add deadlines to the checklist points, which could also help you break your task down a little bit. So for example, if you have a task called sports venues and you have, I don't know, a tennis pitch, you have football field and volleyball court, and you need all of them with the different deadlines. Of course, you have to assign different deadlines because one deadline will just not work. So you can do that as well. Please keep that in mind. Then also, please make sure your deadlines make sense and are actually feasible. For instance, you cannot ask a person to make a financial report within a week because it's a lot of work. Of course, again, as mentioned, it all comes with experience of the event. Of course, some people can help you out with that. And I'll be honest, this is not an easy task to set deadlines. Even still for me, I think I can do it in 2 days, and then I sit for 3 days and I want to already kill myself because it's not possible. So please make sure whenever you do any deadlines for anyone, especially if you do them for anyone, because you don't know how fast those people work, please make sure you give a little bit of like time gap so you can make sure that this person can actually do that within the set time. Also, while giving tasks to those people, be really specific, because again, you will not be the one who is doing those tasks. So you have to explain really precisely what you want that specific team or that specific person to do. So you can just write a task as a card and then add a description for it. I think this is the next point of me, yes. So you can add the description for the task. So just really explain what you want from that person, because again, it either won't be done or you will spend extra 15 minutes of your time of explaining what you already could have explained by writing, and that person would have understood it. And also, last but not least, use comment section to communicate the blocked task to the responsible people. Of course, you can also set automation rules, like if the task is moved to a blocked list, your project manager will be notified about it. It would be assigned to the task, but still comment section is much easier. You can just say like, Daria, please, I need your support with, I don't know, funds. Please take a look and let me know how you can help. Boom. And then I get the notification that someone needs my assistance with anything, basically. Do you guys have any questions regarding anything, regarding Trello, regarding functions Trello has, and basically anything? I take it as a no.
Yeah, maybe. Just what you said earlier about sending you the message for notifying you about the button that we choose. So we go to members and then we can select you from there. Is that how it works?
Which point exactly do you mean?
Like, remember how you mentioned that we should send you like a message letting you know that which automation tool we used on
Yeah.
Trello?
Yeah.
So how do we send you a message on Trello? Sorry, I feel like a boomer right now, but
yeah, by platform I meant Moodle actually.
okay.
But again, if you wanna go that way, you can just add a comment under any of your cards. Just
Okay.
then, either Daria Sharafan, I think I'm also a part of that board. You can just add my name and say, @Daria. This is the automation rule I used, and then write the rule.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So just either of them works, as long as as long as I know which rule. You can just write anywhere. Just I have to know where.
I'm joining you, Gabriela. I'm feeling like a boomer because I just tried to message you on Moodle and I didn't figure out how to even send a private message. I couldn't find you like in context or in contacts or answer to a message. So maybe I'll just send a private message here on Zoom if that's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
sure.
if you have like, do you have a Trello board? Have you made a Trello board yet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Or you can, yeah, again, as just mentioned, you can write a comment under any of your cards that
Okay, yeah.
you just write. That's also fine. Actually, it would actually make you use the comment section as a training because we haven't used it yet for anything. So it will be actually a part of the training. So let's call it that way. Yeah. So any more questions? Because then we are gonna go into our task and discussion. Okay, then I take it as a no. And I'm stop sharing my screen. And now I'm gonna just assign you to rooms. So we're gonna have 2 tasks for 2 different rooms. I'm just gonna briefly explain the tasks for you. So room number 1 will have a task of, okay, since we talked about sports events, since we talked about sports events, of course, we talked about them as a whole. But of course, sports, especially big sports events, they include a lot of smaller projects that you have to take care of. And for this task that I'm going to share with you right now, we're going to take over 2 really important projects for any sports event. First one would be to create a, let's say, how should I explain properly? Like a mobile application. I won't tell you to make a mobile application. I won't ask you to develop it. Don't worry. I see already your eyes like this big. No. Basically, you have to think about which people you need to create a mobile application, which functions you need, and who you have to involve to develop those functions. As I'll give you a hint. Imagine that you are going for any sports championship. Imagine what you would basically, need from which information you need in the mobile application. I don't know, schedules, locations, I don't know, results, maybe some social media feed, maybe some pictures. So just think about it. Think about which functions you would imagine in that mobile application. Think about which teams you have to involve, and just I'm gonna send you a link to a Trello board, and just add those themes as a color labels, and also add those features or / tasks that you have to do in order to give an idea or a briefing to a team who's gonna develop a mobile application. Is this more or less clear? Just nod or not.
Does that mean we like come up with one feature at least for this app, and then we explain on Trello how are we going to get to do this feature?
Yeah, so like imagine that you would have to tell a mobile application developer which features you want.
Okay.
Like, let's say you want to create a mobile application for a championship, and you have to tell them, okay, I want this feature, I want this feature, I want this feature, and this feature. But of course, in order to feed features with content, you need different teams, because finance team would not give you content for social media feed, obviously, because they are just not, responsible for that. So I need you to just write features as tasks and assign the teams which you think would be responsible for those. I mean, of course, IT team is, without question, is responsible for everything, but also more like try to go more specifically. So this would be the task for group 1. And group 2, you guys are going to be responsible for the opening ceremony, which is really, really important. Because if you remember the video that Hank showed to you in our first class, it's always really like we have a big parade at CSID World Sports Games. We have big, celebration. We have some performances, even from local, singers or dancers or gymnasts or whatever. So we have this really, really big celebration. And your task, guys, would be to create a list of tasks which you have to take care of before the opening ceremony, and also assign teams for those tasks. Is this clear? I mean, I think it's much easier than the mobile app, huh? Okay, cool. Then if we are all on the same page, I'm gonna start assigning you to rooms. So remember, room 1 is, actually, I'm gonna send you the links to the boards right now in the chat, so you can already see them and you can get to it in a minute. Yep. All right, so this is for room 1. And this is for the room 2. All right, now I'm gonna try to assign you to the rooms. Okay. So how many people do we have? 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay, it's gonna be 5 and 5. So this is great. Okay, perfect. So guys, now we're gonna get notification that you're gonna join the rooms.
Okay, are you all here?
I think everyone's back now. So you guys have fun with your task. I when I entered the rooms, I was like, oh my God, you just have so much talking. So I didn't want to, you know, interrupt your speaking. But I have seen your board. I like how colorful they are. Yeah, so I'm gonna share my screen now, so you guys can, like, whoever is like a speaker of your room, you can guide me what I should press. I'm gonna start sharing now. Where is it? Here we go. Yeah, so now we're gonna start with group 1. Do you see my screen?
Yeah. You can see it.
So this is the group 1 about the mobile application and which features should be added in the app and who should be responsible for the contents for those. Go ahead, group 1.
We didn't really decide a speaker. Should we just, I don't know, just
Maybe we
randomly?
can do it like
Randomly.
just jump in and talk.
Okay, fine. Okay, so we didn't do that to do things in progress and done because obviously nothing has been done
Yeah.
yet. So, okay. So first, the first thing you see is the timetable because we need to, you know a sense of how long the event is going to be. We added a brief description. We added different I don't know, groups that could be in charge of this that maybe want to communicate directly. Then the next card is about contacting the IT supplier to do the app. So this is just brainstorming about what the app outcomes could be and stuff like that. So yeah, for this is marketing, finance, IT. the personal information card, which would be for the race. So basically this, so sorry, I forgot totally to introduce our idea. Our idea is to do a race for school. And please team, help me out here. Is it, it's a school race, I think, if I,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't really
Yeah, yeah.
clear what the event is, but some kind of race event.
Yeah.
We ran out of
It's a
time.
race. So the app is basically to show the information of the participants, like their personal information, maybe like the registration for the event when they arrive to the event. And then it will show also like the position of the participants within the race. So if they're right first, second, third, etc. And like it shows like a calendar of like, I mean a calendar, like a schedule of the event. So that's what the previous cards were about. So yeah, so then there's a security plan for the race, the registration. So
Great.
yes, this is for the
So
event.
there
And
in
so
the security plan, there is also like contact information, who to call in case of emergency, where the emergency tent is in case of fire, where should everybody go, and so on. So all the information should be easy accessible in the app also.
Yeah.
then the registration, which is just, you know, participants register through the app, and when they show up to the event, they can show in an easier way.
Yep.
Then the live results, which is basically your position within the race, like on what place did you arrive,
Cool.
and links to social media.
Yeah. I like it, guys. Really good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Also, I don't know, like I see that in some of the cards, you added like a lot of different themes. You can also add the label for like all. So just to not add so many themes at once, you can just make like all. And then just, you know, that you can save, I don't know, 0.1 second of your life, but still it's the 1 + 1 is 2. So anyway, yeah, now group 2, whose task was to create to-do list for the opening ceremony of the sports championship.
Yeah, unfortunately, like the other group, we had to think a lot, because organizing an event is not an easy task. You have to start, of course, identifying the first thing is in identifying the place in which you are going to do this. Identify, of course, stakeholders. If you can press on the identify stakeholders, you can see that we were thinking about how to contact the local administrations, but also some sports brands that could be interested in having some view from this event. But of course, for having a great event, you must be able also to recruit volunteers. And we were thinking of using of course, we didn't put the labels because there wasn't so much time, but we decided to do a checklist to put social media newsletter, because we thought it was the way much more better to recruit some people for the event, because of course each event has the necessary presence of some voluntaries, and we were thinking in the part written meeting to do 2 different meetings with these voluntaries. A first meeting of the general knowledge between the people, and another meeting much more specific, in which everyone was assigned of a role or of a task for each thing that is going to do. So basically, this must be the part of the human resources, but we, as I said before, we didn't put the labels. We were also trying to add kind to the gong. We were thinking about the date, because we wanted to put the date and to assign every single thing to the to-do section. But as I said before, in 10 minutes, it's not an easy task.
Yeah, I mean, about deciding a date part, honestly, if you have an event, for example, if we're speaking about CSAT World Sports Games, right, we know that it's going to be from the 5th to 10th of September. So we obviously can't do the opening ceremony on the 10th of September because that would be the closing ceremony already. So like, you know, this kind of things you can already somehow predict. If you have some specific time frame for the event, you can already know that it's going to be somehow around 5th of September or maybe 6th of September. So
yeah, since we didn't know so much the perfect day, we tried also to think before, and we tried also to imagine how to reach this. Since, for example, I had this kind of experience, and the first idea of my date event wasn't possible in that date. So I had to rethink about another day, and being able to be concise with other deadlines, we could say.
Yeah, like just as a side note, for it's like big sports events, especially the ones which are taking place in different cities, like not in your own cities, everything is communicated really, really far in advance. So I don't know, like in CSAT, we plan CSAT World Sports Games for 2025 already right now. So we already know, we don't know the dates yet, but we know that it's going to be in Greece. And those local governments already know that they are going to be hosting the event, and they already know that they have to prepare the facilities, they have to prepare the place where the opening ceremony is going to take place. So basically those things are really thought so much in advance and not within 10 minutes as we did right now. So yeah, so this is how it is done normally in this world of sports events. You can add something to this part because you actually are an expert here with these things.
Okay, I'd like to say that after every event, the working group will create a notebook or some kind of result book that when you start again organizing an event, so then you can see what has happened before. So then you can do the same or change if it's needed. So you don't have to start with an empty table.
Yeah, that is true. So like, it's not that you have to sit and start thinking from the scratch, okay, how do we organize the event from zero? So it's
yeah, but in Italy, unfortunately, sometimes if you are a normal citizen, part of another organization, and you don't have the support, it's really, really difficult. And I really experienced this thing, not in 10 minutes, but I try to use the same way in 10 minutes to think.
Good job. Yeah. So I think you guys did a really nice job with Trello, especially I think you mastered this tool. So yeah, thank you very much from my side. I think you did a really great job. I'm still excited to see all the rest of the boards. As however, you can see here how many of them I already have. So yeah, I'm really excited to see more. And now I'm giving the floor to Anu. Is going to continue the lesson with her part.
Okay, thank you. It has been very interesting to look at what you have done here. And as I said just before that, remember that there must be something where you start your planning on an event. It's not starting from as I said, from the empty table. So now I'd like to show you what you have done already. When I asked you to show or write 3 words how to describe the sport event. So now I ask you that, can you see it properly? Now, I hope so. and I also have to move our face to the other side. So if you can see the words what you have written here, and as you can see, this word cloud is working so that if there are many same words, it's bigger, and if there's just one mentioned, it's a smaller. But you can see in the middle there is inclusive, international, fun, engaging, sustainable, well planned, aware-some, enjoyable, seminars. So when you can see these words here, please comment. Are there any surprises, or is this the way how you see the event, which is the best where you have never ever been? Just I don't know, can I see your hands if you raise your hands, or then you can just say your comments. So just look at the words, and are there some familiar things, or are there some different things that you have written? May I say just names that ask your comments? I have a list of names, and there's a Nicola in my first place. So please give us
Yes,
some.
hi everybody. Hi, Anu.
Hello.
I decided to say stressful, motivational, and difficult, because with these three adjectives, I want to represent my experience as organizer of a grassroots football team. It all started from my passion for football, starting to play again after so many years to get together with other friends, and deciding together to create an amateur team, okay? I decided to say stressful because it requires a lot of management and bureaucratic organization behind the football team. Motivational because it was incredible to create a new grassroots sports organization all together. And difficult because there are so many responsibilities behind such a project. For example, find the players. At last, 24 are needed for a good championship. The field where you can play, and also local sponsor who support the project because it's so expensive. And this is my three adjectives.
Okay, thank you. And then there's the name Lotta. Please, can you just give some comments? You don't have to explain everything what you have written, but what do you think about these words in here?
It seems like people have had a lot of fun and felt very good in many different ways, engaging these sports events, and I feel like it's a very nice thing. Yeah, and in so many different, it may have been touching and thrilling and motivational and enjoyable and awesome, and they may have got some friends also. So, and it has been organized and everything. So it's really nice to see that it has been nice in so many different ways. So yeah, that's what I thought.
Thank you for your comments. And then I have just a message for you. As you can see, the event can be so different, big or small, for children, for the adults, for the lazy sports, or the very professional competitions or something like this. But I hope that when you are planning and organizing an event, so please think in that way that you shouldn't settle for the usual. Do something else. I mean, I'd like you to challenge yourself to make a better quality and more memorable event. I don't know how it is happening, but I think that in that way you can get more satisfaction for yourself, and then you can be guaranteed that next time when this same event is held, so there are more and more people coming. So remember that there have to be always some challenges to do things, but remember also that what are your resources, because if you don't have any money, so then you can't organize on World Sports Games, for example, because it costs many hundred thousands. For example, the opening ceremony there in Serbia, where we are coming in the beginning of September. So it cost maybe 100,000 euros. So you know that it depends of your resources, what you can reach. But please be ready for that, the Caretakers Challenge. And then I have another question. No, not yet this, but now we go the national groups. And I think that we do so that because the Italian team is the biggest one, so you can stay here. And then Daria will help us to make a Finnish team, Lotta, Nora, Semi, Ulrika, and me, to be a one team. And then if I noticed that Margot and who is from Spain?
I think Elizabeth is not here anymore.
Okay. Okay, then if Elizabeth is coming, so then we can give her a floor to explain all of us something. But maybe Margot will go to the English-speaking team or coming to Finnish-speaking team. Or would you, Daria, talk with Margot together, because you can ask her the national things. But at first, you all have to tell in your national group what kind of things you have found. So what kind of regulations you have in your own country when you are organizing an event. And I think that 10 minutes is enough. And afterwards, when we gather together, so briefly just tell us what are the most important things. And please choose the leader or choose the person who will tell us the main points. And I hope that it's another one who has already spoken here. So choose someone who has been quiet already now. So Daria and Margot, you will be one team, and the Finnish team is one team, and the Spanish team will stay here. And now 10 minutes, so 20 past.
I created a room for our students from ICS. I created a room for TUL with you in it, and then I'm gonna stay here with Margot. Yes.
Sounds good. So let's do so, and then you can speak your own language in this time.
Yes. Okay, I'm opening the rooms. And then you will get notification. Hi.
You are here. So shortly, please tell, did you find a lot of legislation or just a few ones? So what is situation in Italy? I'm very curious to listen.
So we decided to present 3 of the many regulation that we found. And the first one is related to the patronage. So the association must present the project to the municipality in order to do the event. And to have the patronage, the sport event must be non-profit. And once they obtained it, they must always mention it in all day advertising. So if they made some posters, they have to clarify that this event is with the patronage of the municipality of and the city, the name of the city. Then we've talked about the medical emergency. So the organizers have the obligation to set up some medical emergency kit and service during the event, such as ambulances, and also the AED, so defibrillator. And there's a law that requires association to have the defibrillator near them, especially during events, but also during trainings. And last but not least, the CI, that is an association for copyrights. So the team or the association must be in contact with them for music copyright and also for the entry tickets.
Thank you. So how about what is the situation in Estonia? Can you, Margot, shortly tell about the legislation?
Yeah, so I decided to view which are the greatest risks an event might encounter and what are the laws regarding these. So I think one of the most important one is the event permits. So sometimes you have to have a permit to have like some sports event or some like public event, which is too many people to go without a permit. It also depends on the location, and it's important because if you don't have the permit, you can be fined, or the event, like ongoing event, can be disbanded by the police. So you definitely have to have your permit. Then to get people to the event, you need to do marketing, and marketing activities are also like not heavily regulated, but definitely regulated. Like there are specific marketing related acts, but also like data protection, copyrights, all like related law areas. And thirdly, definitely last but not least, are any safety requirements, like how many emergency people you have to have around, what are the potential risks depending from the venue, or what kind of safety measures you have to have, or do you, for example, want to serve alcoholic beverages? What are the like additional risks you have to consider for safety and so on? So because people must be safe.
That's right. And how about Italy?
Finland.
We already.
Also, yeah. Finland. We didn't choose who will be the answer, who will answer the question. Who is volunteer?
Anna, you can pick a volunteer yourself.
No, I'm just listening to. How about Ulrika? You can also, I have to tell the others, we also have a Finnish and Swedish speaking discussion. So Ulrika, you can use Finnish, Swedish or English.
Yeah, it was quite the situation to suddenly change to Finnish when that's not my mother tongue. So I was like, oh, wow, okay. Yeah, but I don't really have the terms in English now. So Anu, maybe you can help me, or some of the other people in our group. But we found out or discussed that Finland has a lot of regulations. There are the security, there are voice or noise regulations. There are like the environmental. If you have food at the event, there's also regulations for that. What else did we discuss?
Yeah, regulations for like alcohol, if you sell alcohol.
Yeah.
And you have to inform the police that you have the event, and safety plan and rescue plan and if it's over 200 and person or participants. So a lot of regulations. Was there something we missed?
I think that this is
Yeah.
perfect answer, what I checked in my papers. Okay, so now we have some facts and also some examples from every country. As we can see, we have a quite similar things. For example, music and some security systems and so on. So remember, always you can check them from the local authorities that what it is needed when you are organizing an event. But then I think that clock is ticking and we are just a little late. But then I have a last question for you. This is called a small whatever this is, I don't remember what is it the name of for this task, but task for, can I change this? No. Is going on in here. Stop sharing. I'd like to see another slide in here now. Okay, can you see it now?
No.
No, but I can see a lot, many things in here.
Please share the screen, please.
Yeah. Now it's over there. I would like to be a very quick, but I that's something what I can do. So here is the, now I remember, mini case studies. So this is mini case studies, and we have one question, which is the main question, and then some added question. What have you learned about organizing an event during this module? It means that you have seen the videos and interviews, and they have been from very different kind of meeting events. And what are the main things what you have learned? And then is there something else what you would like to know? Is there lack of knowledge with some questions? So let's go to the groups. I'm sorry we are a little late, but maybe 10 minutes in groups and then just put it in the paper or make a notes that what are the main things, are surprisingly things, or whatever would you like to know more. So here are the questions, and now we go to the groups, and then only 10 minutes time, and then we will gather the answers together. Okay.
So the rooms are
Alright.
ready, and you're gonna get the notification now. Here they are.
Okay, do we have all back?
Come
That
back.
sounds good.
Anu,
So-
sorry, how many minutes for the end of the lesson? Because I work after.
I'm sorry, I said that it's only a one hour and a half, but Daria advised me that it's 2 hours. So
Okay,
I was in I had a mistake.
sorry, thanks.
Yeah, but not more than that. I would like to be in time. So did you have a good conversations? And now I'd like to know what you have learned during this, and maybe both groups, if there is someone who would like to tell all your notes, or then of course the stage is free for everyone. But let's start from the group number 1. So what have you learned? Who will like to start?
I don't remember. I am in group 1, really. Yeah.
I think so. I'm not sure in which group we were.
I don't remember the number, but okay.
You can
Right.
start.
No, basically, what we have learned, what I have also learned from practical experience is the first thing is the fact that you must be able to adapt your ideas, your way of doing an event in base also of the circumstances. It means that if someone is going to push you in order not to do an event, you must be able to try to find a way that could be practical or formal to do the same event that you are imagining, but in another way. I mean, you always are under pressure from local authorities that are not going to consider you, or are considering your event not so much important as it must be. So you must be able to give maybe some things be important in order to obtain the appreciation of the local authorities, but at the same time, you must be able not to lose totally your idea. This is the first thing. Of course, the importance of the organization, because everyone must have a role, everyone must be able to do something in order to create a well-planned event that could be successful in every single part. And talking about the last question, we were talking in my group about the fact that there is no general knowledge of singular regulation, talking about a national level, but also on an international level. So if I am in Italy, I'm informed by the local authorities are the rules, but I don't know if I'm not able to do an event, what are the general rules of these of creating an event. This talking, of course, on a national stage, but also on an international stage. What I saw is that maybe in university, also in sports management course, there is this kind of general knowledge, or teachers are not going to give you a deep knowledge, we could say, of international regulations or specific regulations of the place. This is something that I also perceived being part of a project of the federation, the International Federation of Basketball, while there were some Danish people who were trying to suggest me to do some things that were clear in Danish, because in Danish there were another kind of regulation that was much more flexible, we could say. In Italy wasn't present. So we found this lack, we can say this lack of general knowledge about the single nationally, but also on an international level. This is what we were saying.
And then we also discussed that this whole module was a good reminder of how much there actually is to do for an event, and how important it is to list all the tasks and give out the task to some person that has to do it, because it's easily done to think that someone else will handle it. And if you don't actually give out the task to someone, then you're standing there on like the starting line or somewhere. Oh, wait a minute, no one was in charge of this. So even though we all have some experience in organizing an event or being as a volunteer, this was a good reminder of how much there actually is to do.
Yep. And then, so was this group number one? How about the other group? Don't be shy.
Yeah, so do we want to tell something we discussed about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nicola was maybe thinking, what did you say like about the events, that like there are like small events and big events, but the most important, they are different, but there are similarities between the, yeah.
We say that we were talking about difference in organization, of course, between international and local event, but At the same time, you must be you have to be ready. You have to be ready early in local and international as well organization. And this is the first thing that we see. And the second one is about the second question. We said this sentence. Learning. You have to learning by studying, of course, watching video and about the experiences, but you have also learning by doing. So you have to learning about thanks to the errors that you could do, and then learn by those, and you have to improve yourself by doing.
Yeah.
Basically doing, organize and try.
Yeah, you always learn something new when you organize an event. Or, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Something else. Now the stage is free for everyone. Just comment that what you have learned about those interviews, whether something very special or some small tips maybe, or something else. How about Semi? What do you think? Have you learned something?
I have learned maybe about when I was watching the videos, many of them said about the risks, like about the unfortunate situations that happen, and they have not like really kind of like ready for it. I mean, every risk analysis and what you do, you try to figure out everything that can happen, but like the swimming competition thing, and he told about the medals or trophies, that there was like not enough of those, and they had to like really with the really short notice order more to kind of like figure the situation out. And that was kind of like the thing that you can't really kind of like learn it, but you have to kind of like learn how to match with the situations when something like that occurs.
Thank you. How about Stella?
Yeah, I was in the first group, and I actually think that this experience it's really helpful for the organization. I'm a really not so organized person, and this just helped me a lot. I just started to stick on just one calendar and having all my programs in there. I thank you. You're really helpful. You're just saving my life. And actually, I think that I understand a lot more the difficult on organize an event. I was just a small part in the organization of really big events, but I understand why every people I talk that are just in charge of more things are just stressful. And this made me think a lot of my position and what just is right to and how to talk to people.
Yeah, thank you. Something else. Very interesting answers and comments. So we learn here also when we are listening to you, when you are talking about your experiences. So is there some lack of knowledge, some kind of lack of knowledge, or is there something what you think that you need more information? Because we also can give some more information if you think that you need something.
While we were in group, we said that this is maybe specific to each country, because we don't know every laws about organizing an event. So the main thing for our group was to learn more about the laws for organizing events.
Yeah. I can say you that I think that when, in my experience, I have been organizing events also in Finland and also in international level. So I think that maybe not the regulations there, it's not a problem with them, because there may be someone who knows them and then tell you that, okay, we have to do it in this way. But our mentality is different. So if we think that, okay, today we meet at 9 o'clock in the morning somewhere, and then we make some plans. So some people will come at 9 o'clock sharply. Some will come in a place 5 minutes earlier, but some maybe after 1 hour. So the way how we organize things, we put it in the same way in a paper, but we act really different way. And that's important, that you know your friends, who you are working, who are your collaborators, and how do they work. And it always, it's learning process when you do it. I have seen, for example, this or not the whole UAGA project when we started. So it was very difficult to start our lessons sharply, for example, 9 o'clock in the morning. And then we talked about it, that, okay, 9 is 9 and we will be there at 9 o'clock. And then we had a very, very long lunch breaks. And then we thought, no, we don't need this big long lunch breaks, because in the evening we have a leisure time, then more if we have a short lunch time. So for example, some restaurants, they refused to serve quick lunch because it's out of the culture. So we were in Italy in that time. So these cultural things is also those what you have to consider. But then I have one very good tip for you. Remember, when you are your leader of organizing an event, so remember that thank all your participants and all those volunteers and all other people who are in charge with some tasks, because I think that we never can give enough money for them that, okay, I can pay you 20 euros per hour that you will come here. But if we say that I really appreciate your work and thank you a lot that you have been here, so they will come next year. So it's very small and it doesn't cost anything. But if you say that, thank you, I really appreciate this. So it's very, very important thing in here. So I think that was it Ulrika who wrote something in here?
I was actually gonna comment on this message right now, because I already actually got a message from another person regarding this exact thing. Yeah, indeed, you can connect so the point is the meeting tools. I said that the meeting tools don't have a reminder feature in them, and this was one of the questions in the test, where you were supposed to choose what is not a feature of any of the meeting tools, and the correct answer was the reminder. And now I'm just going to explain my line of thinking while choosing it, because all of those meeting tools you have to connect with the calendar, which makes it a feature of a calendar and not a meeting tool itself. A meeting tool itself will not send you a reminder unless you connect it with the calendar. So this was my line of thinking. I know it might have been confusing, so don't worry about that. I already learned my lesson to be a little bit more precise while saying this. See, I'm also still learning. I'm teaching you to be precise with your tasks, and I'm still learning by myself. So yeah. Anyway, also a little just a thank you from my side as well. Thank you very much, guys, for your amazing work, for your contribution to the lesson. I already talked to Anna about it. We both think that you are an amazing group. You are really active and you are, let's say, not boring students to work with. You are really awesome. So thank you very much. And if you want to stay in contact, you can connect with us on LinkedIn if you are there. If you want to stay in touch, we will be happy to have you there. And one little side note regarding the Anu's comment about the events, like which you can only learn from experience, is that how, I don't remember who exactly of you mentioned that you have to be really like agile. You have to be able to find a fast solution to every problem, because as Anu said, you have to know who you work with, right? And if you tell someone, please make it good, the understanding of good from someone else is not necessarily your understanding of something good. And this is what I had to learn a lot of times in my career, not only in events, but also personally, and also in my corporate career. So also please make sure you know who you work with, make sure you know how the quality of work of those people is, so that you don't have any surprises as a result. So this is a little side note. And I think we are running out of time. We have 1 more minute for us to say goodbye to each other. Wish you a very nice evening or a good working session for Nicola. Okay, enjoy your evening, and then let's stay in touch. If you have any questions, please feel free to write to us, contact us, and so on. So
yeah, and remember, if
Hi,
there's
everybody.
remember to do the tasks and return them to us, that we can continue. And tomorrow we will see another group. And if your friends should be here right now, so please tell them that they can come tomorrow to our lessons, that they also can have all this fun with us. But also thank you for all of you, and see you next time. Maybe we have some time that we will meet face to face in the future. But bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.